One of the many things I've learned during my 4 years in high school is that only you dictate your future, and that everyone faces adversity no matter who they are. I've learned not to feel bad for myself because I can control anything that happens in my life. Many people waste precious time either waiting for an opportunity to appear or blame other people for their lack of opportunities. I've learned that I get out what I put in every aspect of my life. Whether it be in the classroom, on the football field, or with my friendships, the minor details add up. Many of us, including myself, have days where we wish we were grown up and on our own. But when I look back at the last 4 years of high school, I can remember some of the most fun times of my life. My life's passions are football and kinesiology. Kinesiology is a scientific study of human movement. Some applications of kinesiology include biomechanics, strength and conditioning, and sports psychology. Football is a great way to relieve stress, express myself, and receive a free education. Football and kinesiology go hand in hand because studying kinesiology allows me to apply some of the things I learned on myself. I didn't grow up a big fan of football. In fact, when I played Pop Warner, I hated it, so I took a couple of years off. Played one more year in 8th grade, yet I still didn't build a passion for the game. It wasn't until I started playing in high school that I fell in love with football. My favorite book I read during high school was A Long Way Gone. It is the recollections of an ex-child soldier named Ishmael Bea. In great detail, he tells the stories of his time fighting as a child soldier in Sierra Leone during the mid-90s. This book really interested me because Ishmael Bea survived to tell his story some 20 years later. The book starts with his village getting attacked by rebels while he is away with his friends rapping. He and his friends were very fond of rappers from North America. After he comes back to find his village destroyed and his family missing, Ishmael and his friends embark on a journey to find their families. Along the way, they are captured by rebels and forced to be child soldiers. During this time, Ishmael murders hundreds of people with the thought that every person he kills will bring him one step closer to his family. After years of being a child soldier, Ishmael and his surviving friends are taken to a rehabilitation center where he recovers and learns to forgive himself. Ishmael's family did not make it, but he was happy to be alive and able to share his experiences with the world in hopes of preventing such horror from happening to other children.
Is this thing on? Word.
The accomplishment I am most proud of is receiving my scholarship to play football at Stanford. Originally, my dream was to play football for UCLA, but they decided not to offer me, so I moved on and pursued other schools that were interested in me. Realistically, the top 3 schools I was looking to play at were Boise State, Washington State, and Miami. It wasn't until the end of junior year that Stanford became a possibility to play at. Prior to junior year, my grades weren't substantial enough to be accepted into Stanford. I had to finish second semester of junior year and both semesters of senior year with A's and B's to keep my acceptance, despite signing my letter of intent in February. I received my offer in the end of July going into senior year. The nerve-wracking thing about Stanford is I had to be accepted into the school even though I received a scholarship offer. This is where getting A's and B's came into effect. 2 of the 24 kids offered scholarships weren't accepted and don't get to play football there. I'm proud to be one of the mere 5% accepted to Stanford, but I'm more proud knowing I'm one step closer to taking care of the people who have provided for me my whole life.
Engineering at Stanford. Jordan, again, like the other guy, very athletic kid. In addition to playing linebacker, he also plays wide receiver and tight end on the offensive side of the ball. The last 2 years I've had big seasons as an offensive player, catching a ton of footballs. So it's fun to watch him there, and again, just watch him play with the ball in his hands. And when he came to camp, we were just so impressed just with his aggressiveness and how hard he competed, and how well he used his hands. I think he'll be really well suited to play inside linebacker just with his aggressiveness. But I think at the same time, just with he's got some good arm length, he's got some good pass rush ability that we saw in camp. If necessary, we could also play him an outside linebacker. Once he came to camp, he realized that Stanford was a place that he really wanted, and he had some work to do in the classroom, and he really went to work this year and did a great job. Had a great first semester of his senior year, getting almost all straight A's, and took the ACT multiple times this fall and scored really well. He's a kid who really values education and knew that Stanford gave him the best combination of academics and athletics, and it's great to see that he was able to get into school and accomplish what he wanted to do.
Many things lie ahead for me in the future. Ultimately, I want to become a physical therapist or team trainer for a D1 college sports team, preferably for a basketball or football team. I'm going to study sports medicine and psychology. Kinesiology is one of the many emphases of sports medicine. Some goals I have for after college are to visit at least 40 countries, buy a Porsche Panamera, and buy my own house. I don't know what job opportunities I'll have after college, but I plan to remain in California either living in San Diego or San Francisco.